friends, I'm Sean Pierce Johnson and welcome to Stompbox Saturday, where today we are checking out the NUX Trident. If you've ever wanted to dip your toes in the waters of things like the Line 6 Helix or the Neural DSP Quad Cortex, but don't quite have the scratch to be able to afford those guys, the Trident is going to be where you should start your journey. The Trident, in my opinion, kind of takes cues from two different NUX pedals that we've looked at in the past. First being the Cerberus multi-effect pedal board, which looked very similar to this black and orange modeler in the Trident. However, it also shares much more in common with the Amp Academy, in and of itself being a more single pedal sized amp modeler. If you took the Amp Academy and the Cerberus and put them in a pen and let them do what they would do, this is what you would get. A fully featured amp modeler, effects modeler, a complete DI guitar rig solution. Let's start running down some of the features of the NUX Trident. The first thing I want to bring up is that there are actual knobs and switches on the face of this pedal. You can do everything from adjust your amp and EQ sounds, adjust parameters on a boost, modulation rate and depth, all sorts of other effects like reverb and delay, and you can even choose between the different modulation effects and the routing of the reverb and delay. You want to run delay into reverb or reverse that order or run them in parallel. You don't have to plug this into any piece of software in order to do those adjustments. It can all be done right here on the face of the pedal. The Trident has 2 rows of 5-foot switches, 10 in total, with the far left switches being up and down to cycle through the different banks of presets. You have 3 presets per bank, A, B, and C, and then around those are individual Stompbox switches for some of the effects and other things that are built into each of those presets. Say you want to program a boost, you can go ahead and tap the boost button and engage it or disengage it however you see fit. You can turn on and off modulation, or you can go ahead and tap in your delay tempo, which is really nice. Outside of that, one little hidden function is in the boost foot switch. If you press and hold down on that foot switch, it engages a built-in tuner. So hey, you don't have to have a tuner pedal when you use this. It's built in right here, and you read it out with the little LCD screen at the top. Speaking of that LCD screen, this allows you not only to know what preset you are on based on whichever bank and whichever foot switch you press, but it also gives you access to a readout of the signal chain in that preset. Say for example, you wanted to change something up like the order of a different effect. All you would have to do is go press to edit on the param rotary encoder, and then scroll to the thing that you would like to, the effect block, let's call it that, let's not use the word thing. Scroll to the effect block that you would like to move around and press and hold. That effect block is going to start blinking. That means that it is locked to the parameter control, and then you can use that parameter control to move it around your signal chain. Just go ahead and press it one more time to unlock it, and now you have your changes. But I think one of the great things about the Trident is also in its inputs and outputs on the top of the pedal enclosure. Now you have your guitar input, which is awesome. Right next to that, you have an expression pedal input, because you can either lapse that expression pedal into either a volume pedal, use it to control wah effects or whammy effects or harmony effects, or you can attach it to any parameter that you want to be able to adjust with your foot on the fly. You also have send and return jacks for a mono effects loop, which is another effect block that you can build into any preset and put it wherever you see fit. We have an 1/8 inch aux in to allow us to pipe in backing tracks or whatnot. And then we have 2 DI outputs, a DI out 1 and 2 for left-right stereo, with a nice little analog master volume control right next to it. But if you so choose, you can use the 1/4 inch outputs, output 1 and output 2, to go out to say 2 different power amps for a stereo rig, or 2 DI boxes to go to front of house, or to your DAW, whatever you would so choose. And then finally, at the far end, we have a 1/4 inch headphone adapter for silent practicing, 1/8 inch MIDI in and MIDI out, a USB-C port to connect to your computer for firmware updates and to connect to the Trident editor software. We have our power button, and finally our power input, which only needs 9 volts, center negative, 500 milliamps. So all of this can be powered for the same kind of power that a Strymon Big Sky would need. So now that we've talked enough about the Trident, let's go ahead and hear some of what it is capable of. I think the best place for us to start is with some factory presets, and there's a lot of them. We're not gonna get to all of them here today, but I'll choose a few of my favorites, including some from some friends of mine. talk to you guys a little bit about the editor software that you can download for free, whether you own a Trident or not. First and foremost, it is very easy to navigate. It's got great visual representations of the different amps, effects, cabs, and what have yous that are included inside the Trident. It's very easy to make changes and assign parameters, and also it's really fun to just kind of root through things so easily and have that visual indicator of what it is that you're playing. To be able to go from something like a Roland Jazz Chorus style amp to a 50-watt Plexi is really cool, and to be able to see that represented on screen, it really kind of puts you into the editing process more than if you were just looking at a blank screen and pages and pages of names, as opposed to what you get with this. Outside of that, though, there are some things that I would like to see improved upon, which could potentially be possible with future firmware updates. I feel like some of the effects don't give you nearly as much access to what you'd find on their real-world counterparts. So hopefully, over the course of the years of life that the Trident has, we'll see more and more functionality come to those effects so that we can get a more true-to-life example in the Trident. So now to wrap up this video, I want to show you some of my presets on the new NUX Trident. We are going to be using the expression pedal for a few of these, so pay close attention. You might just hear what they're doing. And there you go, my friends. That is the NUX Trident multi-effects processor. If you're wanting a quad Cortex and can't afford it, because that is a lot of money to spend on an amp modeler, you should definitely give the Trident a look. Right now, I'm almost exclusively using the Trident by itself. I'm not incorporating it into a rig with any other pedals. It's just the Trident, an expression pedal, and then DI out to front of house or to my DAW. As a matter of fact, I'm using some of my presets as I'm demoing out new songs for my band. So it's been coming in really handy, and I've really been enjoying having it to just ever so slightly tweak certain sounds or get certain sounds without having to set up a whole new rig. It's all right here at the click of a foot switch. Having said all that, I do think that there is some room for improvement and additions with the Trident as the product exists. First and foremost, I'd like to see a few more effects in the delay and reverb categories. Personally, I feel the DM2 has always been kind of a really dark analog delay, and although I love that about analog delay, sometimes I want things to be just a little bit crisper. So maybe adding in something like the Carbon Copy Bright modeled into here would be a really fun thing. And for that matter, why not try your hand at a deluxe Memory Man? That would be really awesome. I would also like to see maybe a little bit more from the clean side of the amp models. I do feel like they start to break up a little sooner than I would expect. And now I turn the conversation over to all of you. What did you think of the NUX Trident? Or do you have any questions about it that I did not address here in this video? Whatever you have to say, use the comment section down below. That's the best place to do it. And I'll do my best to get back to every single one of you that comments. Thank you all for spending part of your day with me and watching this video on the NUX Trident. If you enjoyed it, please do help support the channel by clicking the subscribe button and ringing the notification bell. It's a very small thing, but it really does help the channel out. But if you'd like to be more up to date about what's going on here, what's going on in my musical life, or even get a chance to win some free gear, join my email club at SeanPierceJohnson.com/email. And if you'd like to support the channel with your hard-earned dollars, just use the affiliate links that I have in the description box down below. You can buy big things like the NUX Trident or any other pedal that you might be lusting after, or just buy the simple things, strings, picks, and the like. A small commission is generated from every sale that comes to me so that I can keep the lights on here in the studio. Until we see each other again, my friends, I'm Sean Pierce Johnson, and I wish you all watching great tone, great health, and happy stomping. Cheers, friends. God bless.